With just over 2 months to the Iowa caucuses, Joe Biden launching an 8-day, 18-county, no malarkey bus tour all through the state. This, as Democratic hopeful Pete Buttigieg has been surging among caucus goers there, leading the polling average at about 24%. Kamala Harris, though, not even cracking the top 5. Our next guest, who was just in Iowa last week, warns all these candidates are facing real challenges. He is John Thomas, a Republican strategist. John, good to see you.
Good to see you, Ed.
Let's walk through why Biden is now on this bus tour. He was dismissing Buttigieg's surge as he launched the bus tour yesterday, but it seems like it's real at a time when Kamala Harris, who was this great hope on the left at one time, the media was celebrating her at the first debate, she's really fallen.
Well, look, you can't dismiss Buttigieg at this point in time. He's, without a question, having a moment, leading both in Iowa and New Hampshire, Ed. I was just there, and you could feel the excitement building around Buttigieg. Now, he's not out of the woods yet because he has almost 0% African-American support, which will hurt him in South Carolina. But Biden is looking at perhaps a 4th or 5th place finish in Iowa if the election were held today. That is devastating and could crush his advantage and have him fall apart in South Carolina. So here's the joke about the no malarkey bus tour. You know it's a bad slogan when he had to write what the definition of the word malarkey was on the back of the bus.
Right, because for this generation, they're like, what's malarkey exactly? Now, let's follow that thread, because I want to get back to Harris as well. If Biden finishes, as you say, potentially 4th or 5th, somewhere in the back of the pack, and Harris doesn't even register, she's going to have to figure out whether she has the money to keep going, because she's already pulled out of New Hampshire. But then Biden, let's follow that thread. If he finishes, deep in the back of the field in Iowa and then goes to New Hampshire, as you know, you got Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders represent Massachusetts and Vermont right next door to New Hampshire. They're likely to do well there, and then Biden won't have a win in either of the first 2 states.
That's right. First, I don't think Kamala Harris she has a chance she doesn't even make it to Iowa at this point. I would just tell her to cut bait and go home before it gets any worse. The Grim Reaper has visited her campaign, and he's her accountant, and she doesn't have money to keep the lights on, Ed, so I think she's done. But the point is, if Biden doesn't perform in either of those first 2 states, he's walking into South Carolina, which he thinks is his firewall, because today he does well with African Americans. But don't forget, Bloomberg and others could be crushing Biden with their ads. And at the same time, Biden, as of the last reporting period, only had around $7 million cash on hand, which for a presidential campaign is going broke.
That's right. Biden has money problems at a time when Bloomberg, as you say, is pouring all this money into ads. So let's get to him. To be fair to Biden, Bloomberg is not going to even really compete in Iowa or New Hampshire. So Biden isn't going to register there, wouldn't really start until South Carolina, and hope to focus on Super Tuesday. And some critics of Bloomberg have said, look, he's too late. He doesn't meet the qualifications to get into the DNC sanctioned debates. But might it be good to skip those debates since the ratings are down and there's just a whole bunch of people at the bottom of the pack and nobody's breaking through?
You're right, Ed. There's really not a lot of upside for Bloomberg to join the debates. First of all, very few people are watching. The last debate ratings were down 50% from the very first Democratic debate. So people are tuning out. And why is that? It's because, by and large, the candidates are boring and they all agree with each other on their far left opinions. I mean, whether it's Medicare or Medicare for all who want it, I mean, we're splitting hairs, Ed. And if Bloomberg joined the stage, the only thing that's going to happen is people are going to take swipes at him. So for him right now, stay out of the conversation, stay out of the debate, let your TV ads control the conversation. And I suspect that if Bloomberg sees significant growth in the polls, Tom Perez at the DNC is going to change those debate rules to let him on.
We shall see. John Thomas, some great analysis this morning. Appreciate you coming in.
Thanks.
All right, cheers to that. Not just the politics, but new studies revealing the health benefits of